Hello everybody. Today I am going to explain the topic theme detection. Now let's see what is the literal meaning of these two words, that is theme and detection. The literal meaning of the word theme is the subject of the talk or the topic, the central idea. Detection means finding out. So put together, theme detection means finding out the subject of the given piece of text, finding out the central idea of the piece of text, finding out what is the topic of the piece of text or the passage given. So that is theme detection. Now, what is the aim of this particular study? The aim of the study of theme detection is to carefully read, analyze, and detect the theme of the passage. Now, when we say carefully read the passage, what is the meaning of carefully read? Carefully read the passage means read word by word, try to understand each and every word of the passage. In case we do not know what is the meaning of a particular word, it's better to refer some dictionary, get the meaning clarified, and then proceed. When we read, link one sentence to another sentence to get the whole meaning of the passage. So that is carefully reading the passage. Analyze. Now when we are reading, what is the meaning of analyze? When we are reading, we have to analyze the passage. It means we have to examine in detail what each and every sentence mean. We have to examine in detail where this each and every sentence directs us. Like each and every sentence will direct us to a particular central idea. So in the process of reading, we have to analyze. We have to examine in detail what the whole passage speaks about. What is the central idea? And finally, it becomes very easy to detect the theme of the passage. So this is the aim of the study of theme detection. Let's see what is the definition of theme detection. The definition of theme detection is a logical reasoning of questions and answers based on some theme which needs to be analyzed and detected. Okay, it means theme detection is a logical process, is a logical reasoning process where you will be given some question and answers. And all these questions will be based on some theme. Like each question asked after the passage will be on a particular theme, on the theme of the passage. All the questions which are asked for a particular passage will be designed in such a way that each question speaks about the theme of the passage and which needs to be. Now this theme needs to be analyzed and detected by the reader. So again, theme detection is a logical reasoning of question and answers based on some theme, this theme of the passage, which needs to be analyzed and detected by the reader when we read the passage. Let's proceed to understand this particular concept with the help of an example. Let's read this paragraph. The future of women in India is quite bright, and let us hope that they will justify their ability by rising to the occasion. Napoleon was right when he declared that by educating the women, we can educate the whole nation. Because a country can never rise without the contribution of 50% of their population. Okay, this last sentence is incomplete. Something should continue after that. So we have stopped here. Now let's see what this passage means. Let's read it again and let's see where each and every sentence drives us, or what each and every sentence tells us that this is important. Okay, so let's read again. The future of women in India. We are speaking about women in India. So the future of women in India is quite bright. And we know future of women in India is quite bright. And let us hope that they will justify their ability by rising to the occasion. So what we are saying, that we know, we hope that women are going to rise to that particular occasion and show their ability. Okay. Napoleon was right when he declared that by educating the women, we can educate the whole nation. Now, Napoleon has rightly said that by educating the women, you are educating the whole nation. Now, this is a phrase, this is a proverb which we have heard many times. Educating the women will indirectly educate the whole nation. When women becomes responsible, the whole nation becomes responsible. The education of women will educate the whole family. Indirect, it will educate the whole nation. So everything is interrelated. Okay, let's see the last sentence, which is not a complete sentence, again incomplete. Because a country can never rise without the contribution of 50% of their population. Now we know that a country rises only by 100% contribution from the whole population. Now here approximately the whole population is divided into 50% as women and 50% as men. And clearly said that a country cannot rise only by the contribution of men. Last sentence says that if men contributes, that will be 50% of the contribution for the development of the nation. And 50% of the contribution should be from the women. If women contributes, it becomes 100%. And there totally it is going to help the country to rise to its heights. So again, let's read the passage once again and try to understand what is the main point highlighted in the passage. The future of women in India is quite bright, and let us hope that they will justify their abilities by rising to the occasion. Napoleon was right when he declared that by educating the women, we are going to educate the whole nation. Because a country can never rise without the contribution of 50% of their population. Okay, something should continue after that. So the passage is clear. Now let's see. The question is, identify the theme of the given piece of text. What are the options given? Let's see the options. First one, India is striving hard for the emancipation of women. Now what do you mean by emancipation? Emancipation means the act of setting free from some power. So, first sentence says that India is striving hard for setting free the women of India or the nation from the powers of or from the slavery of this men. Somewhere it means women are setting free. Do we speak about women setting free something in this particular passage? No, nowhere. So, option A is eliminated. Let's see option B. Option B says that all women should be well educated. Okay, somewhere the passage says that women should be educated, but it doesn't highlight, the whole passage doesn't highlight on women being well educated. Somewhere women should be educated, only that is mentioned. So option B also could be kept aside. Now let's see option C. A nation can progress only when women are given equal rights and opportunities as men. Okay, somewhere the passage speaks that women and men should be given equal rights. So let's keep it in our box. Let's proceed with the option D. Option D says that women ought to be imparted full freedom to prove their worth and contribute to the progress of the nation. Women ought to be imparted full freedom to prove their worth and contribute to the progress of the nation. Okay, somewhere it says that okay, women should be given some freedom to show her worth and to contribute to the progress of nation. She has to contribute to the progress of the nation. But okay, there is a small confusion between option C and option D. Somewhere some may feel that option C is right and some may feel that option D is right. Now let's again analyze this. When we have a tie between two options, we have to again try to understand what is the main point again given in that particular option and try to pick the most appropriate one. So option C and option D, which is more appropriate? Option C says that a nation can progress only when women are given equal rights and opportunities. And option D says that women ought to be imparted full freedom. Women should be given full freedom to prove their worth and contribute to the progress of the nation. So somewhere I feel that option C is more appropriate. Because the last part, contribution to 50% of the population, that says that okay, 50% men, 50% women, both have to contribute. So men and women should be equally given importance. And again, the Napoleon statement that when women are educated, the whole nation is educated. So nation can progress. The progress of nation depends on the education of women. And education of women means men are already given some education, so women also should be given education. They should be treated equally. So option C is more appropriate. The answer is a nation can progress only when women are given equal rights and opportunities as men. Hope it's clear. Okay, let's proceed with one more example, a small piece of text again. Let's read the passage. The attainment of individual and organizational goals is mutually interdependent and linked by a common denominator, employee work motivation. Organizational members are motivated to satisfy their personal goals and they contribute their efforts to the attainment of organizational objectives as means of achieving their personal goals. Okay, let's read the passage again to make it more clear. The attainment of individual and organizational goals is mutually interdependent. Now, what this part of text says? It says that individual employee as an individual has his or her goals. Also, when he works in an organization has its goals. Now, this goal of this employee, the personal goals of the employee and the organization goals, they are mutually interdependent. They depend on each other. And both these put together are linked by a common denominator, and that is employee work motivation. It means if organization has to grow, employee should be motivated to work. And to motivate the employee to work in an organization and contribute his 100%, the employee should also be motivated to satisfy his goals. It means individual goals and organization goals are interdependent. Hope it's clear. Okay, we proceed with the next sentence. Organizational members are motivated to satisfy their personal goals. Now, these organizational members, who are these organizational members? The people who work in an organization. They are motivated to satisfy their personal goals. So from any organization, or I would say all organizations should understand this particular point. They have to first motivate the employee to satisfy their personal goals. Now, what will happen next? Let's read. And they contribute their efforts to the attainment of organizational objectives as means of achieving their personal goals. It means when an individual as an employee is given motivation from the organization to satisfy his personal goals, indirect what he is going to do? His happiness index is going to increase. And because his happiness index is going to increase, he is going to contribute. He will have some responsibilities over the organization because he's happy. He's happy that his personal goals are being achieved. And that is only because of the organization. So what he is going to do is he or she will contribute his or her efforts in attaining the objectives of the organization, in attaining the goals of the organization. It means, again, to make it more clear, individual goals and organization goals are interrelated. Individual should be motivated to satisfy his personal goals. When individual is motivated to satisfy his goals, his or her goals, he or she is happy. Indirectly, he or she is going to contribute 100% to the attainment of organizational goals. Okay. Now let's see the next question that follows. The passage best supports the statement. The passage best supports the statement that motivation, something should continue. So now all these options A, B, C, D and E should start with this word motivation. What is the first option? Motivation encourages an individual to give priority to personal goals over organizational goals. So what is motivation? The first statement says that motivation is a process where encouragement is given to an individual to give more importance to his personal goal than organization goals. Okay, let's see the second one. Motivation is, each option should start with the word motivation. Okay, so option B is, motivation is crucial for the survival of an individual and organization. Okay, we know motivation is important for the survival of individual as an organization, but the whole passage doesn't highlight on the word motivation. The whole passage speaks about individual goal and organizational goals and how they are interrelated. So option B could be eliminated. Okay. Option A we have kept in the box. Let's go with the option C. Option C is, again we start with the word motivation. Option C, motivation is the product of an individual's physical and mental energy. Okay, nowhere in the passage it says that motivation is a product or it is going to help individuals' physical and mental energy. So option C is again eliminated. Option D. Again we start with the word motivation. Motivation is the external force which induces an individual to contribute his efforts. The passage says that motivation to an individual to satisfy his personal goals will indirectly help to contribute to the organization goals. Here it says that option D says that motivation is the external force which induces an individual to contribute his efforts. Motivation is an external force which induces an individual to contribute his efforts. So I don't think so this option is right, because it's not so clear as well. Option D is eliminated. It is not an external force which is going to contribute, which is going to induce an individual to contribute his efforts. Okay. Now option E. Option E says that motivation makes organization and society inseparable. Now here we know that individual goals and organization goals are inseparable. You cannot separate individual goals and organization goals. Though they are two separate entities, though they are two separate concepts, but still they are interrelated. The last option E says that motivation makes organization and society inseparable. No, we are speaking about organization goals and individual goals. So option E is also eliminated. Now which one we have kept in the box? Option A. Finally, of the 5 options given here, option A is best fit. So what is the answer here? The passage best supports the statement that motivation encourages an individual to give priority to his personal goals, to give importance to his personal goals and over organization goals. Like before organization goals, you satisfy your goals. That is mainly highlighted in this particular passage, because organization or motivation to satisfy personal goals will indirectly help in organization growth. Okay, so the answer is option A. The passage best supports the statement that motivation encourages an individual to give priority to personal goals over organizational goals. Hope you have understood this particular concept of theme detection. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.